Welcome to Dollar Bin Digs. This is a series of videos I've been wanting to do for a long time where I go through Discogs or I dig locally and we find the best records that are under $5. I know I'm calling it Dollar Bin Digs, but you know, most drum and bass records are imported from England, so it's kind of hard to find them for $1, but you can. So wanted to start off with my first package I just recently got. I recently picked up about $40 worth of records. I think the average came out to about $3.20 per record. And I got 16 records or so of some great drum and bass, which most of it you can't find on Spotify or iTunes or anywhere else. So I think you should go out and buy this vinyl and dig it. Now, all right, so we're going to start with Full Cycle. Legendary label, started by all the Represents guys. So this plate is by SUV. SUV, in my opinion, one of the most underrated producers in drum and bass, and by far the most underrated producer on Full Cycle. This tune is a long roller. These two tunes are long rollers with intricate beats, intricate breaks, and interesting build-ups. This is the type of thing that I exactly wanted to start this for. This was $1, almost in mint condition. Looks amazing. Cost less than the MP3s would cost, and I could not find it on Spotify. Pick this up. Oh, by the way, all the links to these on Discogs will be in the comment sections below. Second, London Elektricity live at Jazz Cafe. 10-inch. Small. Regular vinyl. I'm pretty sure that the reason that you can find this so cheap, because it's such a great record, is the fact that it's a 10-inch and it's live. You're not really going to mix this in a DJ mix, but it's an amazing two tunes on Hospital you can get for just a couple bucks. Here in the States, I highly recommend it. Beta 2 and Zero Tolerance. Now, the stuff that Zero Tolerance is putting out these days, you can't get for a couple bucks. But the stuff he was putting out in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, can get for so cheap. And this is the stuff that I personally love. Commercial Suicide, early Commercial Suicide, with Beta 2 and Zero Tolerance, soulful, break-heavy drum and bass. Kind of the pre-poppy, liquid drum and bass that we see today. I love this release, and you can get it for so cheap. Less than you can pick it up digitally, buy digitally. And it's, I mean, just look at it. It's in mint condition. It's so good. Digital on Timeless. Timeless Records is one of those record labels that put out so much great music. They were starters for huge people like Tactile, Spirit, Digital. Like, they were all putting out releases on Timeless. And it's kind of like forgotten to the history. You can't find it digital. You can't find it on streaming services. And there's so many great tunes on it. I'll probably feature more from Timeless in the future, and digital for sure. The A side on this, Lion, is so bass heavy. Great stuff. The B side's kind of corny. It's, what is it called? I forget. Clown. Yeah, Clown. And it's got a cheesy laughing clown. The bass on both these tunes is heavy and hitting, and it's got amazing breaks. But Lion definitely is a tune for me. It's got awesome stabs, huge bass. Well worth picking up just for that one tune. All right. JB Dred bass on Back to Basics. Back to Basics is like a guilty pleasure for me. They have so many amazing jungle tunes, but they released so much cheesy jump ups, especially in the early 2000s. But if you can find the stuff that isn't cheesy jump up, it's usually awesome. JB's a long time producer. Not much to say. I like it. It is, this release specifically is kind of generic, but it's not cheesy jump up. And for whatever reason, I gotta give JB love whenever I can. Alright, now we're getting into interactive. When I started buying this lot of records off of Discogs, I was hunting through, looking for some good releases. And it's kind of washed out on the video. There we go, Cujo. I decided that interactive, I just buy as much interactive stuff from this one dealer as I could. Cujo is a guy who released like 15 songs, not a ton of stuff. Honestly, this is not the best release. I don't know if he was friends with Spirit. Interactive Music was the label run by Spirit, who Spirit is a truly underrated drum bass legend. He has many huge hits, but you don't know they're by Spirit. And this was his label. Now, Cujo released some stuff on V. They released some stuff on Renegade Hardware. Both these tunes were a little... I bought them just because they were on Interactive, and this dealer was selling them for cheap. Honestly, this is a pretty mediocre release, but it was less than it would cost to get these digitally. You can't find this on Spotify, can't find it on iTunes. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's get into the puzzle box. So like I said, I got almost the rest of these releases except for this bottom one. Why don't we talk about it first? Which is Spirit, who's going to be the producer we're going to talk about the rest of this time. Spirit, legendary producer, did interactive music, launched Phantom Audio with digital, released many huge tunes that you've heard. If you're a drum bass fan, you know who Spirit is. If you're even like kind of a drum bass fan, you've probably heard Spirit tunes in some of the biggest mixes out there. However, he was never huge Billboard named producer. He was never a huge draw for his DJ skills, but he released so many amazing tunes. This timeless release, huge bass, sounds so good, slightly breaky. I can't say enough good things about it. And it literally, I think this cost $2. Can't get it digitally. Can't get it on iTunes. None of this interactive stuff you can get on iTunes, including this timeless stuff. So I picked it up for less than it would cost to buy digitally. Go on Discogs and buy some of this stuff. So Spirit Box came out in around 2000 and I want to say 6. I might get that wrong. But it was one of his first LPs, which he sold as a series of singles. From this one dealer, I was able to pick up 1, 2, and 4. I gotta hunt down 3 because I definitely have to have this. All of these releases are they kind of fall into like the trend of the time, late 2000s. They're pretty tech-steppy, they're pretty Nero, like the new European funk stuff that was really hard, really techy. Some of the tunes are pretty funky and good. All the B-sides are a little bit calmer than the A-sides. Honestly, the Puzzle Box album, not my favorite, but Spirit being such an amazing producer and getting these tunes at such a great price, I couldn't pass it up. I highly recommend it. Look at these things are in mint condition. You can find these online for just a couple bucks. If you're a hardcore drum and bass collector, go pick this up. It's worth it. It's worth $3. Here's number 2, 204. Nice pink label. Very nice artwork. It looks great. Go pick it up. And here's 404. It's good stuff. All right, here's some white labels. Here's a white label. Interactive 5. It's Spirit. It's more good drum and bass. This early interactive is kind of like the Spirit and digital epicness. It's the heavy breaks, huge sub bass, lots of stabs, hoovers, Reese's, but it's not like crazy tech stubby Ed Rush and optical stuff. It's not, you know, Noisia. It's not Stack and Skynet. It's kind of like, it's got more soul and funk than that stuff had. It's good stuff and it's so cheap. Go buy it. Interactive 05. Oh, here we go. We got an L plates. L plates I thought actually was owned by Digital, but it's not. It was made by the same guy who started Timeless, but I'll have to look that up. Though they released a ton of stuff by Digital and Spirit and kind of the likeness. This one's by Tango and Ratty. I don't know if I can get that close enough. Tango and Ratty. Tango and Ratty are like a weak spot for me personally. Tango and Ratty released so many good jungle tunes. The pitch drums, the huge bass, 808 stabs. They're kind of buy at sight, even though they have some stinkers. But this one is an early 2000s, like heavy, like very jungle influenced bass heavy tune that fit into that time. It's amazing that this wasn't a huge tune. It wasn't, but they're both A and the B side. Man, they're so good. Go pick this up. And Interactive 03, once again, more Spirit, because Spirit was so good. White label, but still almost in mint condition. Like $2. Go grab this stuff. You want it.